Hi, welcome back to a new episode of the Guns Book Club in the Vault. Thank you, Book Club. Yay! And today, guys, we have an extremely special episode because today we have an episode number. No, I didn't change it. You find me. Because today, guys, we have an episode number 332. Not as you see, 331. I'm a little bit in a rush, so I did not notice this, but wait a minute. Bam, fix it. So guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're from the channel, welcome back. My name is Akram Doros, and this podcast, guys, on this podcast, guys, I want to guys only speaking and communication skills to step on the camera, communicate before the camera. I'm doing this I'm doing this podcast because I truly believe English is the number two to teach one mathematics why not to be successful in life, and the second tool that is going to pass that is only communicate before the camera. And if you take those two skills and you can combine them together, you can create great content to the internet. You can influence millions of people all around the world with the internet. Sorry about that. And I hope that by showing you guys my own journey on podcasting 5 episodes, extremely exciting episodes per week. I'm inspired of people like you. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm watching this podcast to do the same. So thank you very much for joining me. And today we got this great to see this girl behind me. I don't know if she's in this special word. And if you want to check her out, you know where you can find her on 3, 2, 1. You can find her on Good Fun, and in this grand background of the Good Fun bananas or the neon 9 Nyan Sensei. And if you of course we like it, and on it's done upload to on 11 on October 2019, and you want to download already 427 times. And if you want to download the picture, just need to choose you just need to choose the resolution from here. Press download. Right click on the picture, go to שמירת תמונת בשם in Hebrew, עושה pictures in English, and type down in the language, press on it. Choose when you want to save it on the computer, press save, and just like that you will get this back on the computer. So thank you very much for that. We made this background, and thank you very much for Neo 9 Sensei for sharing this background with us. And today we continue our journey with influence, the psychology of persuasion, by Robert B. Cialdini. You know, I didn't so much from only just from the first episode of the chapter, from the first chapter of the book. I can't wait to continue to learn from it. And if you want to check out this great background or the book, or if you want to check the book, the influence book, and Robert B. Cialdini social media accounts, you got all the in the description. Just make sure to check them out, tag them, and learn from them. Guys, if anyone will have any suggestion for me, I can put myself on the podcast, or if anyone of you want to come to the podcast, be a guest on the podcast, show me the board, inspire the board, make a difference. If I got them in English, because I'm a really nice guy, please me send the account so we can arrange it. And guys, you're almost welcome. If you learn something new on the channel, you learn some nice quote that you maybe that's something that's it from the book, or from the book, or maybe you learn something, you have some your own vision that you learn from somewhere else. You're almost welcome to share with all of us in the comment section below, so the community can enrich our life and improve ourselves next to you. And saying that, guys, I started to the link to my social media accounts, like Motivation Nyan Kings, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So make sure to check them out, and if you like them, follow it. So thank you very much. And one thing, guys, before we move to the book, if you enjoy the podcast, if you enjoy the video, and if you learn something new to the channel, please consider to share support by liking the video, share subscribe to the channel, push the notification bell, ting, so be notified on each time there's an extremely exciting episode coming to YouTube. And there's going to be 5 extremely exciting episodes per week, so make sure to push the notification bell. It's going to be guys just 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks from your side, and it's going to have to make the big difference for me. So thank you very much if you can consider to do it. And shout out to the subscribers of the channel, and a total of 316 total views of the channel. We're getting strong each day. Yeah, let's go. Just to notice the 322 episode, 316 total views. Putting in the bank. No, I don't care if I'm going to get a million views or 1 views, but nobody is going to can say that I'm not putting in the bank. So this is what matters in the end. So influence the psychology of persuasion. Read page chapter 2, page 28 to 29, 30, 30, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 to 32. We're going to read 5 pages today. And it was a meet. The legend, the money was a Mr. John, please. Mr. John, please. Mr. John, please. So boy, hey, yeah. So let's go. Let's go. And we finish with the story about the Hare Krishna. Yes, I don't know, religious. How the raise money with the corporation, reciprocation law. It's an inside. It is instructive. There's a reciprocation rule. It's begun to outlive its usefulness for the Krishnas. Not because the rule itself is a mindless potent society, but because we have found ways to prevent the Krishnas from using it on us. After one falling a victim to the tactic, many travelers are now alert to the presence of a robbed Krishna Society solicitors in airports and trains and train station, adjusting their paths to avoid an encounter and preparing beforehand to ward off a solitarious gift. Although the society is trying to encounter this increased vigilance by instructing members to be dressed and groomed in modern styles to avoid the immediate recognition when soliciting. Some actually carry flight bags or suitcase. Even discuss is not worked, especially well for the Krishnas. Too many individuals now know better than to accept unrequested offerings in public places like airports. Furthermore, airport administrators have initiated a number of procedures designed to form us of the Krishna's true identity and intent. Thus, it is now common airport practice to restrict the Krishna's soliciting activity to certain areas of the airport and to announce through signs and the public address system that the Krishnas are soliciting them. It is a testament to the solitarious value of replication that we have chosen to fight the Krishnas mostly by seeking to avoid the reason that we have chosen to fight the Krishnas mostly by seeking to avoid the reason than to withstand the force of the gifts of the gift giving. The reciprocity rule that empowers the tactic is too strong, and it's socially beneficial for us to want to violate it. Politics is another arena in which the power of the reciprocity rule shows itself. Reciprocation tactics appear at every level. At the top, elected officials engage in log rolling. There's an exchange of favors that makes politics a place of strange bedfellows, indeed. The out of character vote of one of our elected representatives on a bill or a measure can often be understood as a favor returned to the bill's sponsor. Political analysts were amazed at Lyndon Johnson's ability to get so many of his programs for Congress during his early administration. Even members of Congress who were thought to be strongly opposed to the proposals were voting for them. Close examination by political scientists has found that the cause to be not so much Johnson politically savvy as the large score of favors he had been able to provide to other legislators during his many years of power in the House and Senate. As president, he was able to produce a truly remarkable amount of legislation in a short time by calling in those favors. It is interesting that this same process might account for the problems Jimmy Carter had in getting his programs for Congress during his early administration. Despite heavy Democratic majorities in both House and Senate, Carter came to the presidency from outside the Capitol Hill establishment. He campaigned on his outside Washington identity, saying that he was indebted to no one there. Much of his legislative difficulty upon arriving might be traced to the fact that no one there was in debt to him. At another level, the Kennesees and the recognized strength of the reciprocity rule in the desire of corporations and individuals to provide justical rule justical and the legislative officials with gifts and favors, and in the series of legal restrictions against such gifts and favors. Even with legitimate political contributions, the stockpiling of obligations often undermines the stated purpose of supporting a favorite candidate, of supporting a favorite candidate. One look at the list of companies and organizations that contribute to the campaigns of both major candidates in important elections gives evidence of such motives. A skeptic requiring direct evidence of the quid pro quo expected by political contributions might look to the remarkably bold-faced administration by Charles H. Keating Jr., who was later convinced on multiple counts of fraud in this culture's savings and loan disaster. Addressing the question of whether a connection existed between the $1.3 million he had contributed to the campaigns of 5 U.S. senators and their subsequent actions in his behalf against federal regulators. He asserted, I want to say in the most forceful way I can, I certainly hope so. At the grassroots level, local political organizations have learned that the principal way to keep their candidates in office is to make sure they provide a wide range of little favors to the voters. The bar dealers of many cities still operate effectively in this fashion, but ordinary citizens are not alone in trading political support for small personal favors. During the 1992 presidential primary campaign, actors Sally Kellerman was asked why she was lending her name and efforts to the candidacy of Democratic hopeful Jerry Brown. In reply, 20 years ago, I asked 10 friends to help me move. He was the only one who showed up. Damn. Of course, the power of reciprocity can be found in the merchandising field as well. Although the number of possible examples is large, let's examine a pair of familiar ones deriving from the free sample. As a marketing techniques, the free sample has a long and effective history. In most instances, a small amount of the relevant product is provided to potential customers for the stated purpose of allowing them to try to see if they like it. And certainly, this is a legitimate desire of the manufacturer to expose the public to the qualities of the product. The beauty of the free sample, however, is that it is also a gift and as such, can engage the reciprocity rule. In true jiu-jitsu fashion, the promoter who gives a free samples can release the natural indebting force inherent in a gift, while innocently appearing to have only the intention to inform. A favorite place for free samples is a supermarket, where customers are frequently provided with small cubes of a certain variety of cheese or meat to try. Many people find it difficult to accept a sample from the always smiling attendant, return only the toothpick, and walk away. Instead, they buy some of the product, even if they might not have liked it especially well. A highly effective variation on this marketing procedure is illustrated in the case cited by Vance Packard in the Iden procedures persuaders of the Indiana supermarket operator who sold an outstanding 1,000 pounds of cheese in a few hours one day, by putting out the cheese and inviting customers to cut off slivers for themselves as a free samples. A different version of the free sample tactic is used by the Amway Corporation, a rapid growth company that manufactures and distributes household and personal care products in a vast national network of door-to-door neighborhood sales. The company, which has grown from a basement run operation a few years ago to a $1.5 billion yearly sales business, makes use of the free sample in a decisive code the bug. The bug consists of a collection of Amway products, bottles of furniture polish, detergent or shampoo, spray containers of deodorized insect killers or window cleaners, carried to the customer's home in a specially designed tray, or just a polyvinyl bag. The confidential Amway carrier manual then instructs the salesperson to leave the bag with the customers for 24, 48, or 72 hours at no cost or obligation to earn. Just tell her you would like her to try the products. That is an offer no one can refuse. At the end of the trial period, the Amway representative returns and picks up orders for those of the products the customer wishes to purchase. Since few customers used up the entire contents of even one of the product containers in such a short time, the salesperson might then take the remaining product portions in the bag to the next potential customers down the line or across the street and start the process again. Many Amway representatives have several bags circulating in their district at one time. Of course, by now, you and I know that the customer who has accepted and used the bag products has been trapped into facing the influence of the reciprocity rule. Many much customers yield at a sense of obligation to order those of the salesperson's products that they have tried and thereby partly consumed. And of course, by now the Amway Corporation knows that to be the case. Even in a company with an excellent growth record as Amway, the back device has created a big stir. Reports by state distribution distributors, the parent company record a remarkable effect. Unbelievable. We have never seen such excitement. Product is moving at an unbelievable rate, and we have only just begun. Local distributors took the bugs, and we have had an unbelievable increase in sales from Illionis distributor. The most fantastic retail idea we have ever had. On the average, customers purchased about half the total amount of the bug when it is picked up. In one word, tremendous. We have never seen a response within our entire organization like this from a Massachusetts distributor. The Amway distributors appear to be buildered. Happily so, but nonetheless buildered. But the stunning problem of the bug, of course, by now you and I should not be. The reciprocity rule governs many situations of a purely interpersonal nature where neither money nor commercial exchange is at issue. Perhaps my favorite illustration of the enormous force available from the reciprocation weapon of influence comes from such a situation. The European scientist Abel Ebisfeld provides an account of a German soldier during World War I, whose job was to capture enemy soldiers for interrogation. Because of the nature of the trench warfare at the time, it was extremely difficult for armies to cross the no man's land between opposing front lines. But it was not so difficult for a single soldier to crawl across and slip into an enemy trench position. The armies of the Great War had experts who regularly did so to capture an enemy soldier, who would then be brought back for questioning. The German expert of our account had often successfully completed such missions in the past and was sent on another. Once again, he skillfully negotiated the area between fronts and surprised the lone enemy soldier in his trench. The unsuspecting soldier, who had been eaten at the time, was easily disarmed. The frightened captive, with only a piece of bread in his hand, then performed what might have been the most important act of his life. He gave his enemy some of the bread. So affected was the German by this gift that he could not complete his mission. He turned from his benefactor and proceeded to no man's land empty-handed to face the wrath of his superiors. An equally compelling point regarding the power of reciprocity comes from an account of a woman who saved her life not by giving a gift as did the captured soldier, but by refusing a gift and the powerful obligations that went with it. The woman, Diana Louis, was an inhabitant of Johnstown, Guyana, in November of 1978. When its leader, Jim Jones, called for the mass suicide of all residents, most of whom completely drank and died from a vat of poison-act Kool-Aid. Diana Louis, however, rejected Jones' command and made her way out of Johnstown and into the jungle. She attributes her willingness to do so to her earlier refusal to accept special favors from him when she was in need. She turned down his offer of special food while she was ill because I knew once he gave me those privileges, he would have me. I didn't want to owe him nothing. Title: The rule enforces undivided debt. Here we suggested that the power of the reciprocity rule is such that by first doing us a favor, strange, disliked, or unwelcome others can enhance the chance that we will comply with one of their requests. However, there is another aspect of the rule, besides its power, that allows this phenomenon to occur. Another person can trigger a feeling of independence by doing us an uninvited favor. Because the rule only states that we should provide to another the kind of actions therefore provided us. It does not require us to have asked for what we have received in order to feel obligated to repay. For instance, the Disabled American Veterans Organization reports that its simple mail appeal for donations produce a response rate of about 18%. But when the mailing also includes an unsolicited gift, gummed individualized address labels, the success rate nearly doubled to 35%. This is not to say that we might not feel a stronger sense of obligation to return a favor we have requested. Only that such a request is not necessary to produce our independence. If we reflect for a moment about the social purpose of the reciprocity rule, we can see why this should be so. The rule was established to promote the development of reciprocal relationships between individuals so that one person could initiate such a relationship without the fear of loss. If the rule is to serve that purpose, then an uninvited first favor must have the ability to create an obligation. Recall also that reciprocal relationships confer an extraordinary advantage upon cultures that foster them, and that, consequently, there will be stronger pressures to ensure that the rule does serve its purpose. Little wonder, then, that the influential French anthropologist Markel Mauss is describing the social pressures surrounding the gift-giving process in human culture. Can state there is an obligation to give, an obligation to receive, and an obligation to repay. Guess what? This is the end of the episode, and I really want to go. Thank you very much for joining me, and I really hope that you learn something from the channel, and I can't wait to see you on tomorrow episode. The next episode is going to put up in the world. Thank you for coming. Thank you for a great time, and bye-bye. So today is Friday. Today is Friday, 25 of March 2022, and time now it's 6:06, and I have 10 minutes I think for שבת. נראה להם יום שישי 25 לשלישי 2022 שעכשיו היא 6 דקות. הספקתי לצלם את הסרטון הזה, אחרי שהנחתי בערב וקראתי עד 4 את ה-UFC. עכשיו יכולים ללכת לגייס, לנוח ולהתראות. ביי. ושבת שלום.